I am back at the Hustler Casino in Los Angeles, and I'm really happy. I'm going to be here until the end of the year, making content, playing poker, winning money. I'm excited. Are you excited? Let's go. We are back at the Hustler Casino in Los Angeles. I am so happy to be back. I'm taking $5,000 from my player bank and heading into the Crystal Room, which is just as glamorous as it sounds. I'm heading through the room, really excited to play. As I'm walking over to the table, one of the Hustler regs, he sees me for the first time in months. He takes out his phone and makes a pretend call and says, "Hello, ice please," which is probably one of the funniest things I've ever heard in my life. Everyone's running a little bit late today, so it takes us a little while to get the game going. First hand of the trip here. I am looking down at 8-4 offsuit. Why is this relevant, you may ask? Well, I did a giveaway on my Instagram page. $50 to the person who could guess my first hand of the trip. Closest guest wins, and this is your winner. If you're not yet following me on Instagram, give me a little follow. It's Gazaby123, and sometimes I'm just giving away money. The game is going to start four-handed. I'm not off to the best of starts here, and it takes an hour before my first vloggable hand of the trip. I look down at Jack 10 offsuit in the big blind. Under the gun has raised it on up to $30, and I defend out the big blind. We go heads up to the flop, and it comes down Jack 9-3 rainbow. Decent start here with top pair. My opponent's going to bet out for $30. I've got a very easy call, of course. To the turn, it's the 6 of diamonds, and my opponent bets again, this time for $130. A little scarier now with this big bet on the turn, but of course, top pair, I'm not going anywhere. I make the call, and we see the ace of diamonds roll off on the river, about as bad as can be, and my opponent bets again, this time for $520 on the river. It's a really big bet. I think about it for a few seconds, but I don't have a diamond in my hand. I've got lots of better hands to call with, so I just lay it down. Interestingly enough, very next hand, we're going to pick up Jack 10 again, albeit of the suited variety this time. Cutoff is raised to $30. Button makes the call, and I put in the squeeze. I make it $140 to go out the small blinds. Cutoff is going to make the call. He's a young kid. He's a regular-looking fella. He's been playing pretty ABC so far. We go heads up to the flop. It comes down 8-7 deuce all clubs. Not amazing, but I do have that gut shot. I can make a hand like King Jack of diamonds fold, so I bet out for $80. My opponent goes into the tank, he's thinking for a few seconds, and eventually he raises to $490. This is a really big raise here. I'm of course not calling with Jack 10 of hearts here. I just let it go, and it's been a really tame start to the trip so far. Lots and lots of pots like this going against me. And next up, middle position is raised it on up to $30, and an old friend from years gone by is going to put in the re-raise and the hijack. He makes it $90 to go. I haven't even looked at my cards yet, and when I do, my eyes are going to pop out my skull. I've got pocket queens. I'm going to put in the cold for a bet. I make it $275 to go. Middle position gets out the way. Action is back on the hijack, and I've decided if he jams, I'm calling it off. It's $1,500. He can shove ace king. My mind is already made up. And sure enough, he is going to move all in. Don't love it, but I stick to the plan. I make the call. $3,000 pot here. My opponent turns over his hand. He's got pocket kings. Damn it. Running at once here for this pot worth $3K. Gonna need a queen. Not the flop I was hoping for, but hope on the heart turn. And then a brick on the river. I got so excited when I saw that heart on the turn, but I couldn't suck out. I couldn't find a queen or a heart on the river. And this pot worth $3,000 is going the way of my opponent. Nice hand, sir. Disappointing for me. And I'm stuck 2.2K after just an hour. Somebody get me a flight back to London already. Whilst I'm licking my wounds and rebuying, let me quickly remind you guys, I've had 4 videos taken down by YouTube now. Some are just as normal as this video we're watching right now, so I've started putting them on Rumble instead. I put a vlog there earlier in the week. It's an absolute banger, so if you're looking for more Gazaby LA poker vlogs, there's a link in the description of this video. Back to today's episode, and for this next hand, I have run to the bathroom. I asked the dealer to deal me in. She does so, but the table is waiting for me to get back. I don't want to slow the game down as I'm running back. So as I'm running back, I just shout out, raise the 30.
That's why we like that.
I don't want to slow the game down, you know? Let's go get through.
All right, PDJ.
It's got to be good content. I blind raise.
I hope I get stacked. That would be great content. Definitely.
I have 2 overs.
You're probably good. Are they spades?
Maybe.
I win. I have 2 pair. Oh, no, you win. You win. I probably should have raised the river there versus such a small bet, but kind of glad I didn't because my opponent would not have folded a straight and it would have cost me even more money. Blind raising, making 2 pair, and still losing. Sign of the day so far. But that could all be about to change because the first time this trip, I looked down at pocket aces. Under the gun is going to raise it on up to $30. I put in the re-raise, I make it $100 to go. Action is back on under the gun, and he just folds. He is the local, young, fearless, snapback-wearing, aggro 21-year-old. How's he folding? How's he not putting in the 4-bet? Really annoying, as I just win it pre-flop. I am going to win the biggest pot of the day so far in this PLO double board bomb pot hand. Some dude absolutely gifts me $300 on the river. I've got 4th set and a pretty rubbish straight, which is good enough to beat his 5th set. Don't know why he's potting it on the river. And I am scooping in a pot worth around $800. Can I win some no-limit hands as well now, please, poker gods? Maybe that's going to happen when I look down at ace-king. And what's more, we've got a round of straddles on the go. Small blind is going to raise it on up to $70. He's an older fella who's been running really quite hot so far. And I am going to put in the re-raise. Of course, I make it $210 to go out the big blind. He is going to make the call, and the flop comes down Jack 9-3 with 2 diamonds. Not what I was looking for with ace-king, but still, I decide to c-bet. Over c-betting versus older players is going to work out really well because they don't check raise enough, and you get to realize your equity and all that stuff. I bet out for $140, and yep, you guessed it, he makes it $400 to go. I have to just fold. RIP my little one-hand heater there. Maybe I should just stick to the PLO double board bomb pots. Anyone who has watched this vlog in the past, in all seriousness, knows that would be terrible for me to do. Next up, I've got king, queen of diamonds in the small blind. I raise it on up to $30. Middle blind is going to make the call, and a handsome pro makes it $135 to go in the straddle. Self-proclaimed handsome pro, I have to add that in here. I am going to make the call. Middle blind makes the call. And we go 3 ways to king, 10 deuce with 2 clubs. Decent start here, top pair, good kicker. Big blind is going to c-bet for $150. I am going to make the call, and middle blind is going to call as well. Turn is the 7 of hearts. It brings a second flush draw. I am going to check, middle blind is going to check, and then the big blind is just going to check it on back. River is the deuce of diamonds, about as clean as can be, and we've got a couple of options here. I think we definitely want to go for value. The question is how much? I've got $1,300 in my stack. The middle blind is relatively similar. The big blind covers. And there's about $800-ish in the pot. I decide not to go all in here. I decide to bet out for $600. If I go all in, then the middle blind can never make a hero call with a hand like ace-10 or 10-9. And we definitely want that to happen. So I bet out for $600. Middle blind is just going to snap fold. But the big blind is thinking it over. He's talking away to himself. He's thinking about making the call. Eventually, he does just let it go. I really wanted called there on the river, but it's a nice pot coming my way, so I definitely can't complain. However, as I'm scooping in the pot, I realized the under the gun player, he's a really nice guy, but it was his straddle, and he's forgot to put the straddle on, and this pot would have been double in size if he had done, so I guess I can complain about something, to be honest. Just kidding, of course, these things happen. He put it on at the end of the next orbit, and it was all good. Moving on now, I've got pocket 9s on the button. The straddle round has finished, and the young, aggressive kid is going to raise in the cutoff to $30. I put in the re-raise. I make it $105 to go. Action is back on the cutoff, and now he decides to stick in the 4-bet. Where was this 4-bet when I had pocket aces, buddy? He makes it $260 to go. Like I say, he's very aggro, but I do think putting in a 5th bet pre-flop would be really, really ambitious here. I've got 2.2k in my stack. He covers me. I think the play is to just call. I make the call, and it comes down ace, ace, 5 rainbow. Not really what we were looking for, to be honest. He is going to bet out for $110, and I think we've still got a pretty clear call on the flop here for such a small size. Turn is the jack of hearts, and now my opponent checks. This is a little disappointing because if he's got a hand like queen 10 or king queen or king 10, it's for sure going to continue to barrel on this turn. So when he checks, he's probably showdown heavy, which means my 9s are less likely to be good, but obviously a little too strong to bluff here. I check it on back. River is the 3 of hearts, backdoor flush gets there. Action is on my opponent, and he moves all in. This is a really, really big jam. This guy's made some crazy bluffs against me in the past, but I don't think I'm calling here with pocket 9s. I just let it go. He tells me later in the day that he had ace-queen with no heart. As he says that, I nod my head and say, nice hand. But the voice in my head is like, it's really sick for you to turn your ace-queen into a bluff there, bro. Just kidding, of course, being a bit salty in my head there. I'm just kind of teetering around this like minus 2k point. I can't seem to get closer to even, but it's not getting any worse. And what's more, I'm having a lot of technical issues today. I've accidentally recorded this whole vlog so far in 4K, 60 frames per second. It's clogged up my recording phone. I'm having to use my regular phone from here on in. It is a total mess. I'm really stressed out. I'm really frustrated, but it is just part of the life of being a vlogger, and I just got to get on with it. Next up, I've got Queen Jack of clubs in the cutoff. I raise it on up to $50. The button is going to make it $150 to go. He's a new player to the game. He's unknown, but he's banging for a load of cash, and he doesn't necessarily look like a pro. I'm going to make the call here, and we see the flop come down 9-6 deuce with 2 clubs. I've got my 2 overs, my flush draw. I probably should be check raising here, to be honest, but I do decide to just call in game. I'd like to see myself raise it here after he bets $100, but I decide to make the call. Turn is a 6. I check it on over to my opponent, and he bets out for $310. It sucks being out of position, but with my overs and my flush draw, I make the call. Looking for some help on the river, but it is the 10 of spades. Not what I was looking for. I check. My opponent moves all in, and I have to just sigh and fold. I think I could have been a little more aggressive here on the flop. I think my line is fine, but probably should have check raised on the flop. But yeah, can't get there on the river, and it's another pot going the way of my opponents. A little frustrating, but it is what it is, and the grind goes on. I want to give a massive shout out to one of the dealers in the Hustler Casino, the best dealer in all of LA. He has made this game explode by sitting down, bringing some energy, cracking some jokes, and all of a sudden we've got a really, really good game because of the energy from the dealer. Suddenly we've got some $40 straddles, some $80 straddles, and here the $160 straddle is on. What a turnaround in this game. It was 5-5-10. It was a little difficult, but now the chips are flying. I'm so excited to peel my cards here. Oh, I've got the Robbie. Do you guys think she cheated? I absolutely 100% do. Moving on, I've got ace queen offsuit in the $20 straddle, and the $40 straddle is on for this hand. It's going to fold all the way around to me, and I'm going to raise. I make it $120 to go. The double straddle makes the call. He's proving himself to be a bit of a loose goose so far. Spoiler alert, when I come back to the casino at 4:30 a.m. tomorrow morning, yes, that's going to happen. Yes, you're going to get to see it. He is still going to be here. Anyway, I raise, he calls, the flop comes down, ace, jack, 6, all clubs. I've got a plan here. I'm going to bet, check, call. Start out with a bet of $80. My opponent makes the call. Turn is a 5. I bet again, this time for $280. And again, my opponent makes the call. River is a 7. I stick to the plan. I check. I just want to let him bluff with a hand like queen 4 with a club or something like that. He's thinking about it. He reaches for chips, but then he says, fuck, and checks it on back. He tells me I win. I turn over my ace queen. And finally, a nice pot coming my way. Again, could the tides be turning in my favor? Unfortunately, no. I am going to grind it out for another couple of hours, but again, just pretty tedious. I'm not winning many big pots. Finishing with a PLO double board bomb pot hand. I've got 3 10s in my hand, and there's somehow, some way, another 10 on one of the flops. Unfortunately, there's been a pot and a call, and I've just got a set and not much on the second board, so I do just have to let it go. The poker is not yet done for this episode. I'm a little tired. I'm racking up. I'm heading across to the cashier. Really tough start to the trip here. I'm really struggling with jet lag. It doesn't happen often, but I'm going to go home, go to bed at 10 p.m. I'm wide awake at 3 a.m. And fuck else am I going to do at that time of day other than come and grind?
All right, guys, it is 5 a.m. and I am back at the casino. I've got some extreme jet lag right now. I normally never suffer from it, but it's been pretty bad since I arrived a few days ago. And I've woken up and seen there's an overnight game. It should be pretty damn good. So I'm going to jump in. I'm going to play. There's one table. There's a couple on the list, so hopefully it's going to last. Yeah, I'm excited to be back and play. Let's avenge yesterday's shambles and get it back. Let's go. Has a good start. The side entrance is closed. Running good already.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I did not expect to be back at this cashier, taking money out of my player bank and heading across to the table so soon after leaving just a few hours earlier. But like I say, I've got some bad jet lag, so let's just get on with it. I am joining a full game here, but 10 minutes later, it's going to be four-handed. I am regretting coming all the way across town, but let's see if we can hold on and get some hands in. First hand of note comes 10 minutes into the session. I've got 8-7 offsuit on the button. I raise it on up to $30. Small blind is going to call, middle blind is going to call, and the big blind is going to call as well. We go four ways to the flop. It comes down 8-3-3 rainbow. It checks on over to me, and I bet out for $50. Big blind is going to make the call, and we see a 7 roll off on the turn. Pretty nice. We're now beating hands like ace-8 and king-8 and stuff. He is going to check it on over to me, and he didn't raise on the flop, so I'm going to bet again here. I bet out for $150, and after a few seconds, my opponent makes the call. River is a 4, shouldn't really change anything, and I think we want to go for value here. I bet again, this time for $350. Pretty chunky triple to start us off here, and after 20 seconds, my opponent makes the call. I turn over my hand. He's got 6-3 offsuit. He's slow played his trips, and he's managed to get me to barrel off with an inferior value hand. And this is a very tough start to this session. Nice hand, sir. Just a few minutes later, though, I'm going to pick up king-queen offsuit in the middle blind. Button is going to raise it on up to $20. He is for sure a non-pro, and I put in the re-raise. I make it $80 to go. He is going to make the call, and the flop comes down ace, king, jack, rainbow, second pair, gut shots. I bet out for $50. Small bet, seems pretty standard. My opponent thinks for a few seconds. He makes the call. Turn is a 6. I decide to check it on over to my opponent, and my opponent is going to bet out here on the turn. I'm not going anywhere. I've got second pair. I've got that gut shot. I don't love it, but I, of course, make the call. River's an ace, which could be good if he's got a hand like king jack or something like that. I check again, hoping he just checks it on back, but he bets out for $140. This is really tempting, but my read is that he's limped in a couple of times in a short-handed game, so he's going to be quite passive. It's unlikely he's bluffing. So I just let it go. I think it's a pretty standard fold. I'm going to have hands like ace-4 suited and stuff like that. So no need to call with a hand like king-queen. The game is temporarily three-handed. The guy who I had the king-queen against is off to the ATM. And we've got some fast action while we're three-handed. The button is going to raise to $50. That is a 5x open here. And I am going to put in the re-raise out the small blind with king jack offsuit. I make it $180 to go. Button is going to make the call. And the flop comes down ace, 10 deuce with 2 clubs. Gut shot working for me, so I bet out for $130. My opponent thinks for a few seconds and makes the call. Turn is the 3 of clubs, and we definitely want to have a club here if we want to keep barreling. I check it on over to my opponent. He is just going to check it on back. River is a 6, and I don't think we get much credit with the bet check bet line here. So I wave the white flag. I check it on over to my opponent. He bets out for $300, and I have to just let my hand go. Maybe we could bluff the river here, try and make him fold a hand like 10-9 suited or something like that. But I decide not to. I just let it go. And after 23 minutes, I am somehow stuck $1,500. Why, oh why, have I come all the way across town? I'm getting my ass kicked so far, losing every hand and feeling a little bit frustrated. Next up, I've got pocket sixes in the big blind. The small blind raises it on up to $30. Middle blind is going to put in the re-raise. He makes it $80 to go. Guys, it's 6:20 a.m. I am stuck. I am a little frustrated. What's one little gazzy bee, spazzy bee, loosey-goosey eating a sandwich cold call with a low pocket pair? I make the call, small blind calls, and I am rewarded. It comes down queen 10-6 with 2 hearts. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a c-bet from the guy who covers me. He is going to check, and I bet out for $150. Small blind snap jams for like 270 total, something like that. Unfortunately, middle blind just gets out the way. I, of course, call. Small blind has got king deuce of hearts. He asks if we can run it twice. I'm like, yep, sure, no problem. First turn is a queen. I am going to turn him absolutely dead. River bricks off. And the second run out is a king. And then a brick on the river. I am going to win twice here. This loosey-goosey eating a sandwich cold call preflop has worked out spectacularly well. And I am finally dragging in a nice pot. We're three-handed now. We agree to play for another 20 minutes or so. And the last hand of the session is a PLO double board bomb pot, three-handed, $75 in the middle. And these are the 2 flops. It's going to check on over to me, and I am going to bet out for pot on the flop. It's $75. I just want to bloat the pot a little bit. I bet out for $75, and both players are going to make the call. These are the two turns. It's going to check on over to me, and I do toy with the idea of just pushing my equity and betting, but I do decide to check it on back. No boat for me on the top board, but the nuts on the second board. Lovely, lovely run out. And I really wish that I had pushed that equity on the turn. What's more, the second player to act, he is going to bet out for pot here on the river. He bets out for $300. And with the nut flush, I guess we could call and hope the other guy calls with a straight or something like that. But I decide to just try and get them both off of a chop. I put in the re-raise. I make it $1,200 to go, which is the most I am allowed to raise to here. Just trying to get him off of a chop. The other player gets out the way, and then the second player goes deep into the tank. He is talking away to himself. I am praying that he doesn't hero call with the straight. And eventually he tells me that he has got top set of pocket aces and nothing else on the other board. I was trying to get my opponent off of a chop, but now I am praying that he makes the call here, and I will scoop in this pot, and I'll be out the hole for the session, and it will all be worth it. He is really thinking over his options. I am praying that he makes the call, but eventually he just lays it down. I don't know this guy. It's my first time meeting him, but he's been a really nice guy so far. So I show him that he's made a really good fold. It's 6:30 a.m. I'm probably never going to see the guy again. There's nothing wrong with giving out a little bit of free information. So the game does break after this. I'm heading across to the cashier. 2 losing sessions out of 2. Really frustrating. I think I've played quite well, which is all that matters. Just no big pots so far. Alright guys, what a rubbish couple of sessions. It's been a very crazy trip so far. I've had really bad jet lag, and I haven't been sleeping that well, which is not normal for me. So I decided to come in early and play. The game looked amazing. When I got my seat, it just started to break. And we've booked 2 L's to start us off. I am not worried about it though. It's a long couple of months I'm going to be here for. I'm going to grind it out. It's going to be amazing. We're going to make some great content. So a tough start. First couple of sessions not so good, but like I said, not worried about it. Going to get it all back and then some. Really looking forward to it. See you in the next episode. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.